Google just released a video AI tool that costs roughly a third of what Runway charges, and almost nobody noticed. I'm going to break down the real numbers, show you what you actually get for the money, and explain why this matters if you're thinking about investing in AI video generation right now. Let me start with the sticker price, because that's where the story gets interesting. Runway's standard plan runs you $25 a month. You get unlimited uploads, some credits for generations, and access to their latest models. Google Vids, on the other hand, comes bundled into Google One, which is $12 a month for most people, or free if you already have a Google Workspace subscription at your job. On the surface, that's less than half the price. But here's where it gets more nuanced, and this is the part most comparison videos skip. When you actually start using these tools, the math changes. Runway gives you a monthly credit allowance, and when you run out, you're either waiting for next month or paying overage fees that add up fast. I've seen creators burn through their monthly budget in 2 or 3 projects if they're doing anything ambitious. Google Vids, being part of a broader subscription, doesn't work quite the same way. You're getting access to the tool itself, plus you're paying for cloud storage, Gmail, and a bunch of other Google services. So if you're already paying for Google One anyway, which honestly, a lot of people are, then Google Vids is essentially free for you. That changes the calculus entirely. But cost isn't just about the monthly bill. It's about what you actually get to create with your money. This is where I need to be honest. Runway is still more powerful for certain things. If you're a professional filmmaker or you need fine-grained control over motion, camera movements, and character consistency across multiple shots, Runway's still ahead. Their tools are more mature, their model is more refined, and you can do things with Runway that you simply can't do in Google Vids yet. That's worth paying for if that's your workflow. However, and this is a big however, if you're making social media content, quick explainers, marketing videos, or anything that doesn't need Hollywood-level precision, Google Vids is genuinely sufficient. And for a lot of creators, it's actually better because it integrates directly with Google Slides, Docs, and Gmail. You can build a video outline in a doc, hand it to Vids, and it'll generate the video in the same ecosystem. There's no exporting, no uploading to another platform, no context switching. That workflow efficiency alone is worth something. Now let's talk about the hidden costs. With Runway, you're paying per video or per minute of output, depending on your plan. That means every time you iterate, every failed take, every "let me try a different prompt" costs you credits. A lot of creators don't factor this in when they do the math. You might think you're spending $25 a month, but if you're running 50 generations to get 5 usable clips, you're actually spending way more than that. Google Vids doesn't have that same per generation cost structure, which means you can experiment more freely. You can fail cheaper. For learning, for iterating, for just messing around and figuring out what works, that matters. There's also the question of what's included beyond the video generation itself. Google One includes 2 terabytes of cloud storage. Runway doesn't. If you're working with video, storage is a real expense. 2 terabytes might not sound like a lot until you're trying to keep multiple project versions, raw footage, and exports. Google's throwing that in. Google One also includes extra Gmail storage, Google Photos backup, and some VPN features depending on your region. None of that is revolutionary, but it's real value if you're actually using Google's ecosystem, which most people are. Here's another angle: customer support and stability. Runway's had some outages, some periods where generation quality fluctuated, some pricing changes that annoyed people. Google's infrastructure is just bigger and more stable. Your videos are less likely to fail mid-generation. That reliability has a cost too, even if it's not on the invoice. So let me actually do the math for different user types, because this is where the real story emerges. If you're a solo content creator making 2 to 3 videos a week for social media, and you're already paying for Google One anyway, maybe for the storage or the Gmail features, then Google Vids is genuinely your cheapest option. You're paying $12 a month, and you're unlimited on generations. Runway would cost you $25 minimum, probably more once you start burning through credits. That's a 50% savings, and you're getting a tool that's perfectly adequate for your use case. If you're a small team or agency, and you're generating dozens of videos a month, the calculus shifts. Runway's pricing scales better at volume, and their tool gives you more control. You might end up spending $50 or $100 a month on Runway, but you're getting professional-grade output. Google Vids at that scale might start to feel limiting. You're not really saving money anymore. You're trading capability for cost. If you're just experimenting, you want to try AI video generation, but you're not sure if you'll actually use it, Google Vids is the obvious choice. There's almost no friction. You already have a Google account. You probably already have Google Drive. You can start generating videos in minutes. Runway requires you to set up an account, learn a new interface, and commit to the subscription. For a trial, Google Vids wins on convenience alone. Now, I want to address the elephant in the room. Why isn't everyone talking about this? Why is Runway still the conversation in most AI video circles? Part of it is timing. Runway's been around longer. Part of it is that Runway has better marketing. Part of it is that Google Vids is relatively new and doesn't have the same feature depth yet. But honestly, I think it's also because Runway built a community and a reputation first, and that matters. When people think AI video generation, they think Runway, the same way they used to think Adobe for video editing. Switching costs are real, even if the product is cheaper. But here's what I'd actually recommend. If you're just starting out, or if you're making content for social media, try Google Vids first. It's cheaper, it's integrated, and it's good enough. If you hit a wall, if you realize you need features that Google Vids doesn't have, then upgrade to Runway. You'll know exactly what you're paying for. Don't start with the expensive tool just because it's famous. That's how most people waste money on software. The real takeaway here is that the AI video space is getting more competitive, and that's good for you. 2 years ago, if you wanted to generate videos with AI, you had basically one option. Now you've got multiple tools at different price points, and the cheapest one is actually pretty good. Prices are going to keep dropping. Features are going to keep improving. And if you're thinking about getting into this space, now is actually a really good time to start, because the barrier to entry has never been lower. If you want to keep up with this stuff, the real costs, the actual features, the stuff that matters beyond the hype, subscribe. I break down one of these tool comparisons every few days, and I'm not here to sell you on anything. I'm just here to give you the numbers and let you decide.